Hi, my name's Jeff Brock, and I'm from Rocket Head Studio near Santa Fe, New Mexico, in Espanola. And about 2009, we took a 1952 Buick Super Riviera and decided to build a land speed race car out of it. We did it. We built this car in 3 months, me and two young men from Hernandez, New Mexico. And we took a 1950 Buick Roadmaster big block engine to Automotive Machine Services in Albuquerque and had them put some high performance upgrades in it. And yeah, we're running that 1950 big block with a stock crank, stock rods, stock cam with a comp grind on it, Arias pistons, which is that package really put together a nice engine. We run a 1965 Muncie close ratio transmission, 4-speed out of a 65 Vet. We got a 1969 T-Bird rear end in it. So we put that package together, long story short, and ran the car for the first time in 2009 and got the class record at 130. So now, but since then, every year, once a year, we've bumped that record, at least once a year. We have 6 records with her now, and her top exit speed is 171. And her record for the measured mile, the average through the mile twice, is 165.7. So
that's beautiful. I mean, because I love Buicks, obviously, but just to get in your mind that you take one of the biggest, swankiest cars of the 50s, you keep the straight 8, and you do over 170. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy even to me, though. I'm as surprised or as pleased as anybody. It was. The adventure, the mission we went on was just to do it. When we realized that we could build a car in the inline engine class, build a coupe, we're a group of artists and we all chose the car because of its American classic beauty. It's unmatched.
Because I have to say, I can tell that you're an artist because, I mean, all of the other cars, I mean, they're so cool, but they sort of reassemble each other, if you look in each class. Yeah, they're nice. But this looks like nothing else,
Yeah, this is, she came together well, and it was really a vision I had, that started with an appreciation for a friend's 53 Skylark convertible. Those lines are just as beautiful as they get in American classics. So it certainly was, a lot of people thought that it was a foolish car to choose, and I was, as many people tried to talk me out of it as tried to talk me into it, or more tried to talk me out of it, I would say. But being an artist, I really needed it to have aesthetic beauty. It also is kind of serendipitous that I was born in Flint, Michigan, where the car was built. So this car came from my hometown, halfway across the country or more, and it's a tribute to my home turf and to my country, so it's really a fun mission that way.
That's beautiful. And except for everything else, whenever when you think about racing, you think about light stuff. You think about carbon fiber and aluminum and stuff. But this is steel all the way through. Right?
It's steel all the way through. The belly pan probably weighs 400 pounds. But the difference is that you learn out of Bonneville is that weight is your friend. You have to be reasonable about the balance between your horsepower and your weight, and we wish we had more horsepower, but we're getting 340 horsepower out of a 1950 Buick Straight 8, and that's about all you're ever going to get out of those without modifying the head further and being out of class. So it really was a learning curve for us to realize, because I have a background in flat track racing and drag racing motorcycles. So you drill everything and you use aircraft aluminum and titanium whenever you can. But this is a different world out there. A lot of these cars that are here that are slippery and beautiful have they actually apply weight. They have weight bags and lead and things like that, fore and aft, and heavy belly pans, so.
You don't need that.
Right, yeah, we got a heavy enough car, we started out with a big old Buick, and it's, and there's a reality in what you can do with horsepower and car design. Those two eventually come together, and you can try, and you're at a end of a road there as far as the formula. So we have one more trick up our sleeves this year, and so my goal was to get the record over 170 in the class, inline engine coupe class. So we're hoping that the header and the rerouting of the exhaust this year will get us over 170. We've ran 168.7, but we had a headwind the next morning and we couldn't back it up. So we've had 2 good runs at 165 and 166 that gave us a 165.7 average. So we have that record in the books now, but we'd really love to get her over 170 before we retire her.